Morning, everyone. I hope you're well. It's lovely to have your company here on Create and Craft. We have got a fantastic one-day special lined up for you. Now, all of the items are available individually. You might want to have a look at those because they are consumables, which means you're going to be using them, creating and making the most beautiful designs. And we've also got a stamp and 2 stencils there as well for you. This is your Wistful Charm bundle. The colours in here are absolutely delightful. The imagery is wonderful, and you've got lots of scope to make your cards, to use this for your scene building, for your journaling, and beautiful colours along the way. Now, we've got a terrific price for you for your paper pads, including the beautiful vellum, which is available individually, for your stencils and that gorgeous stamp. And that price is a saving of £12. But if you are in the club, you save even more. You save £16 and 40 pence. So £39.56. You can, of course, spread the cost on Flexi. It's a world launch, so it's exclusive to us here at Create and Craft at the moment. And you've got the chance with your Flexi for your first payment being £19.78. There is a small admin charge on your first payment. You've also got ClearPay and PayPal as well that you can pay with. But let's say hello to the lady herself, the lovely provider of donuts, our lovely Toni Derrick. How are you, Toni?
Good morning. I can tell you've had your donut fire in your belly this morning.
Can I say a huge thank you? It was a lovely surprise to come in this morning and see it there.
I put a little note for you just in case anybody else was eyeing it up. I thought, this is for Janice. Don't eat it.
I ate it straight away. It was lovely for this absolutely gorgeous one-day special and the beautiful papers. Talk us through what we've got here, because it's absolutely beautiful.
It is called Wistful Charm. It is charm in one beautiful collection. It's quite nostalgic as well. It has the hues of the textures and the vintage feel through there. It's got quite a bit of fussy cutting elements as well. So you get a lovely eclectic mix here that's going to see you through from start to finish. So we have papers, vellums, we have our wonderful painted mounts. We also have the 2 5x7 stencils and that incredible A6 stamp. So if you are a vintage kind of card maker, well, this is amazing. But if you like to just do the clean and simple cards with the stencils, you can do that too, because the designs are not just for this collection. They're going to be brilliant for gents cards, and they're going to be brilliant for all the celebratory cards throughout the whole of the year as well.
Now, I love the colours that you've got included here, because it really does give that vintage vibe. But also, I think it's fantastic because I think this is going for male and female cards as well. So you've got the beautiful blues and the taupe colours in here as well. And you've got different designs as well to suit everybody. So for a man's card, for example, would look absolutely amazing. You've got those lovely stripes in there, like floorboards or wallpaper, for example. Nice elements in here that you could cut out. You could fussy cut around there. You could use that part. You could add this with rice papers and be creative on your 12x12 mount boards, for example. Excellent for Valentine's Day with your love hearts and your hearts there as well. That's really nice because you could write your own message on the wall, which would be lovely. So lots of detail as you sit through and have a look at your papers. You can see there the word love that runs through that, which is absolutely beautiful. And then we get to that word down the side again. You could put a picture of your loved one in there, which would look amazing. We've also got included, which is I think fantastic, to start your cards. You've got the lovely cards toppers or your mounts. So you could fold your card in half like your A5 cards, and you could just put these directly on there, and then you could start to build on top of that with maybe some stickers that you've got, some stamps on there, knock it back with a little bit of gesso, make it really vintage. So some beautiful designs on there as well. We've also got the vellum. Now, this is absolutely divine. And we've got some beautiful colours in here as well. I like the vintage element. I like the grungy vibe to this as well. So with your vellum, you could put this on top of your card. You could lay it on the inside as well. And don't forget, you can tear the vellum. So you've got the chance to give it sort of like a real worn edge if you want to go for that vintage vibe. All of these elements are available individually. Look at the price of your vellum, £6.99. You're going to be using this. Might be an idea to pop some more into your basket with it being on Flexi and a capped P&P. Remember, you've got 10% off that price if you're in the club. 438863 is your item number. The stencils themselves as well, aren't they fantastic? Really nice size as well. 5 by 7 in size. But you know, with stencils, you can use as much or as little as you wanted. So if you just wanted to use the tip of that fern, or maybe when you look at the fern, that could be a row of trees and it could be a reflection in the water. So have a think about that. You could use it for that technique as well. Or you could change it into a feather. You know, it doesn't have to be a fern. It could be like a feather S. So lots of things you can do with that. You've also got your beautiful floral designs as well, which is on the other side just here with those roses. Perfect for your Valentine's Day, but also beautiful for any time of year, maybe for your Mother's Day cards, your Father's Day cards as well. And if I just come round the front, we've got that beautiful stamp here with the text in the background. So you've got a lot in there to feature, to highlight and to use. You've also got that lock as well, so it could be a little lovebird. £39.56 altogether, that fabulous, fabulous collection, exclusive to us here at Create and Craft for the moment. 309713 is your item number. Remember, they are available individually. If you want to add any more to your basket, now's a good time to do so because you can split the cost on Flexi. Right, we have got some fabulous embossing folders for you. And we're going to head back to Toni so we can talk through these. Now, with your embossing folders, there's something rather special, and that is a gift with purchase. So this comes to you free with your balloons and your hearts. Again, perfect for birthdays, perfect for Valentine's Day, and that's worth £8.99. So all three of those, because you're getting that included for free, £16.19. 336508 is your item number. And I've got a couple of these already embossed, and you can see you've got a really nice deep detail in with these. That's your embossed and your debossed. Isn't that lovely? That's your magnolia. Turning that around, you've got your deboss as well. We're getting busy now, you're seeing these. And that with your beautiful, gorgeous, let me turn it that way, which are your tulips. Yeah, there you go. My favourite flower, and just totally lost it there for a minute. There you go. So you've got your beautiful tulips. And that's your deboss and your emboss as well. £16.18. But remember, you're getting that one for free, so it's all three of those, which is brilliant. And there they are, you know, inked up and looking absolutely fantastic. Inked up, I like that. Right, we've got a happy hour deal for you, and this is called Happy Home. And it's beautiful because your happy home will create a whole fantastic card. And look at this. So you've got your stamps in here. And this has got that lovely house. Could be a little bird house, could be a little hedgehog house, could be a little fairy house in there. You've got all the floral designs around the outside. You've got the beautiful stamp in there with your roses. Turn this on that way, and you've got your single rose bud there. It's beautiful, isn't it? That's your happy home, 055070, and that's £9.99, 10% off in the club. So we've got lots of items, and do you know what? I think they all work really well together. Remember, you've got that capped P&P as well that you can use. Right, I'm not alone. If you have joined me, we've got the lovely Toni via Skype. Where are you Skyping us from, Toni?
Sunny Wakefield.
And is it sunny?
It's freezing. It's so cold.
Oh, bless you. It's cold all around the country. So a good way to keep warm is to get crafting.
In my studio, we've got the heating on, so I'm happy. So before I start, Janice, I just want to cover a couple of things that are really important about the brand new collection, and that is the elements that are built within but can be used as entities on their own. So, for instance, that incredible vellum. Now, I have had so many messages about this vellum this morning saying, when can we get it? Where can we get it? We can't get it on the website. So it's sorted now. You can find it. Top up on them, okay? Because once this is gone, TV have it all. So once it's gone, it's absolutely gone. And I can see why it's been super popular. Let me show you. So although Janice held it up there, they're beautiful colours and they match the collection beautifully, but let me show you the detail. So here we have, look, you can see a thread of gold going through some of the sheets. So this is a coffee colour one. So this is going to be brilliant for your gents cards as well. Absolutely wonderful designs. So you've got coffee colours, we have teals, but look what happens when you overlay them onto some papers. Now, you do get a different look if you lay them onto different coloured cardstock. So that one is on white. But let me just show you the one on the cardstock that's in the show as well. Look how it makes it pop when you add a colour underneath as well. So teals, we have some greens, which are brilliant for Christmas as well. Then we've gone with some pink, navy and purple hues as well. Check this one out. This one, and then the purple with the gold going through there as well. So these are absolutely exquisite. They tear beautifully. These are going to be for that extra special person, I just know that. Really, really different in design. And Paula said yesterday live on show that these are the best vellum she's ever seen in design-wise, which made me very happy, actually, because sometimes it is nice to get a nice compliment like that. So let me just show you the vellum with the brand new embossing folders and show you how they work, because the vellum is of a heavier weight, which means it doesn't crack and it takes ink beautifully. And then we'll do a fantastic demo with the brand new collection. Now, it is ethereal love. We do have a ton of stock, but absolutely when it's gone, it has gone, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure if you like it, to get it. And again, it has that vintage vibe. We don't often do the vintage vibe, but you know, new year, new craft. We're trying some new things this year. So hopefully you're going to like it as much as I do. Right, I'm going to go with this coffee colour one, and I'm going to use the Magnolia 6x6. Now, these are high definition embossing folders, so you get the detail on the front and on the back. So you can use the deboss or the emboss. So I'm just going to pop this on here. I'm just going to tear away the excess. I love the detail that catches the light on this particular vellum. So I'm just going to pop this onto my mats here, and we'll just simply run this one through.
Toni, I can see
super easy here.
I can see a sample in your studio there with, I think it's with the brown vellum. That looks really nice, and that's torn at the top and bottom. How do you stick vellum without the glue being seen on either side?
So you can either wrap it underneath, Janice, or you can use a tape pen. Tape pens are brilliant. I just have some inexpensive tape pens, and you can't see the tape pens at all. So for vellum, I always use tape pens or tuck it around my
that looks
project.
lovely. I love that.
If you are going to try and glue it, make sure the glue's hidden under an embellishment or something like that.
Okay.
So let's show you this one. So you'll not see much to start with. So the detail is there. I'll try and lift it up a little bit, but let me show you how we bring this to life. Now, we do have some brand new metallic ink pads coming, which have got rose golds and golds. I can't wait to bring those to you. That would look incredible on here. But for now, I'm going to stick with my old-time favourite technique, and that's to take the white ink pad and just brush it over. And I think it's really important that you see this come to life, because this is where the vellum and our embossing folders work incredibly well together. Now, I'm already getting a Christmas card vibe from this. I know Christmas cards are gone, but I'm already feeling the vintage from this. I'm feeling if I'd done it in a gold ink pad, I would have got a gents card too. But look at the detail from that incredible embossing folder.
That's gorgeous.
Plus that lovely script gold going through. So we have it here in the brown coffee. Here it is in the teal.
Oh, nice.
And here it is in the reddy woody colour.
And really
so
easy
you can
to
see
create.
all of the different, absolutely, just run it through your embossing folders. And again, it's the same with our wonderful card blanks and envelopes. The envelopes are thick enough so they work with your embossing folders, because I want you to be able to put the design on these and on your envelopes as well, and, you know, carry the design through. That extra special person, you know, let's make it extra special.
Yes. Do you know what? I think it's such a lovely way to see a demonstration like that, because it's achievable. And also, it looks like you've made layer upon layer upon layer to make that effect happen, when in fact you've just used your embossing folder, some white ink and the vellum papers as well. It really is a terrific design for you. Now, I've taken you through some of the papers that we've got there, but again, such a terrific design. If I just hold these up again to show you, because again, it's all about that visual representation. Let me just grab these. Now, over 40% of the stock has sold out already. But this is what we mean by that beautiful designs that you can look at, and you can start to bring forward some of those designs, or maybe add some embellishments, maybe tear some of the corners, or do your effect when you've got your special tools of just ripping down the side there to give it that vintage look. Even having some of these maybe in a little box frame and then adding details to them. Look absolutely fantastic. You've got love on there several times. If I turn it that way, you can see what it says. Again, if you wanted to cut into this, you could cut it down in stripes, or use it as a background, or do your embossing on here. You've got your, or let's turn it this way, you've got your key in there, the beautiful colours again. You're thinking your vintage elements, maybe put a little bit of dark ink around the edge just to bring that in, almost like a vignette, if you were. And I think that's what's really nice about working with vintage style papers, is that you can bring in your darker inks and you can grunge it up and you can make it look even more vintage. Or maybe use some of your natural dyes, like tea dyes, with it, or tea stains and things like that, which would look absolutely fantastic. So those are some of your papers that you can see with your designs. They're single-sided as well, so it's white on one side and the beautiful designs on the other. You've also got your mounts. These could be just a straightforward card topper, which would work perfectly, but lots of other things that you could do with this as well. You don't always have to have them in landscape. You can have them in portrait, or you can turn them into landscape, or just have a look at how that rose goes and see if that's how you want it, with that moving around, using the 3 elements when you look there. You can see you've got a rose at the top, the rose at the side, and then the leaves going down. Or if you turn it that way, your eye then goes into that beautiful, almost like a pampas grass that goes at the top there, that nice feathered plant. So have a look at the papers, discover what's on there. This one's great as a background, or you can cut these out individually. So lots of scope to do lots of different designs. Remember, these are single-sided as well, and really good cardstock. That on its own, what a lovely Mother's Day or Father's Day card that would be. And again, using a little bit of dark ink, maybe some grey shadow underneath there, would make that really pop, and it would bring that forward, which would be absolutely beautiful. You've then got your 2 stencils, and you've got your stamp as well. Remember, exclusive to us here at Create and Craft, with your vellum, with your cardstock, with your beautiful papers, and your 2 stencils and your stamp. £43.96. Spread the cost on Flexi. There will be a first payment admin charge on your first Flexi. £21.98 is your first Flexi payment. Lots of F's, lots of F's, lots of F's just there. Oh, florals, Flexis. Right. Now, let's talk about the embossing folders. We're very, very busy. 2/3 of the stock has already gone. This was the one that was used in that demo. So if you want to get hold of these, grab it now. We're very busy for this. 336508 is your item number. 10% off that if you are in the club. Remember, you can add that to your Flexi, no extra charge, and it's a cap P&P as well. So lots of different ways to buy from us. If you want to be in touch and you want to have a chat with Toni, then please email in. It is studio@createandcraft.com. We'd love to hear from you. Right, let's head back to Toni. Toni, what are we going to have a look at next?
So I'm just going to show you a couple of samples that I made yesterday. In case you missed yesterday's show, I'm going to show you a sample using the wonderful embossing folders as well, because the collection does simply work together. So these are your painted mounts. I'll just move this over. So when we created these with the instant cards in mind. So sentiment, matte and layer onto a card and done. But what we did was we made them heavyweight. So if you did want to do what Janice has said and add a shadow round, it would carry water, and you could complement and run them through your embossing folders. But as time's gone on, what's happened is people have started to utilise them in their embossing folders with ink, building on top of, so they've got depth and dimension in the backs. So really our customers have made them work far better than I absolutely anticipated. You can fussy cut and 3D these ones as well, but these are like pre-printed postcards. We've been doing these now for about 18 months, and it's not very often now we don't bring you a painted mount in some form. So I just want to touch on this one here. So this is the one that I used yesterday. So what I did with my embossing folder was I took the tulip and I put some pink ink onto both sides and I sprayed it with water. Then I took the design, I popped it into my embossing folder and I run it through my machine. And then when I took it out, I highlighted the tulips with a little bit of white, and this is the look you get. Absolutely awesome. So you get the sort of creeping rose in the back, you get that incredible 3D and inked up in white. I'm sorry about the tear, I tore it when I was trying to make it vintage, but then what I decided to do was do a little open.
I like that, Toni.
Pop a little sentiment in there, I think. I tore it, but it was too nice just to pop in the bin. So what was traditional of this from the set, look at how different you can make it. Of course, you can make it clean and simple, but of course you can build your own style and theme. So let me just show you some of the samples I made yesterday. So, well, this is actually a tag from our design team. So some of the elements that Janice said, get them fussy cut, build them up. You can do the vintage detail on there. The cool thing I like about Wishful Charm is that I haven't got to understand all of the layers and all of the complication. It's all done in the papers. They're pre-built. So here is one with the mount, with the vellum wrap around there, and then just a cute sentiment. This is the pattern paper just with the bird stamped on it. I mean, that looks incredible in my world. That is a fantastic card. And then here we have the painted mounts again, but I cut two and I 3D'd some of the elements on top and sat them on top. And there is that lovely fern stencil just to bring a little bit more detail into the background. So every element in the kit does complement. But I'm going to do a quick demo now. And what we'll do is we'll change it up a little bit today, because I always try and show the basics of what the kit can do on the first day, and then the rest of the hours we can touch on some more detail.
Okay, yes.
So let's have a look at the stencil.
I was going to say, Tony, your last show today is at 2 o'clock, isn't it? And then after 2 o'clock at 3, the price will be going back up. So it's a good idea, if it is in people's baskets now, to check out, just to make sure they've got it, because I think it's really important. Otherwise, I don't want anyone missing out. It's such a wonderful kit.
And it's a fantastic saving of £16. So if you were to break it down, £16 is wonderful. It's like the paper pad and one of the stencils for free. So, you know, it's a nice creative set. I do like to bring you sets these days, because I feel like we spend half of our life figuring out what works with what. Whereas if I try and build a collection and help you out a little bit, then it's going to enable you to make cards quick and easy and enjoyable. And don't forget, you always have the QR code on the back of all of our packaging. I'm live in my own studio. This is our studio here in Wakefield. I'm live every Monday night at 8 o'clock if I'm not with you guys. And we do a ton of content. So join our social media pages. The Eureka fan page, there is already a ton of samples with this collection in there as well.
That is fantastic.
So I'm going to use this lovely stencil. So this is that wonderful, I love this. Now the stencils are going to be my go-tos for this year, because they work across the board. I don't have to use them with this set. I can use them with anything I want, even Christmas cards. They emboss through your machine beautifully as well. So all I'm going to do, I've picked one of the textured pattern papers, which, by the way, I didn't do, but it looks like I did, which is so cool. And I have an anti-static bag. So I'm just going to anti-static this here. Then I'm going to take the stencil, and I'm just going to pop it off to the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to run our sticky ink through this one. Now you can put it on a brush and push it through. I just like to take the sticky ink, hold the stencil in place, and then just push it through the stencil. So I'm just going to do it half on the page. So I'm just going to push the sticky ink through the stencil best I can. And, you know, if it doesn't quite hit all the areas and I get a little bit of texture, well, that's going to be in keeping with my theme. So I'm not too precious about it. But if I wanted to make sure I got every little bit of detail in there, I would tape it down and make sure I press the ink pad completely through several times to pick up this detail. So I'm just pushing that ink.
And with the stencil, Toni, we can emboss with that as well, can't we, with our die cutting machines?
Yeah, you can run it through your embossing machine too. Just shim it out and you'll get a lovely detail in there. So I'll try and get all of that little detail inside that floral. So push, 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 and then hopefully we'll get some lovely detail on there. So then I'll just lift off this stencil, and I will actually have a watermark anyway, which is nice in itself. So let's just grab some embossing powder. So let's go for gold. Let's just grab some paper here so I can catch the embossing powder. So I'm just going to put this on some gold. And hopefully it'll pick up all of that incredible detail. And yes, we did it nicely. So here we go.
Oh, wow.
That looks flocked.
Yeah, look at that.
Looks quite pretty. So, you know, traditionally I think we use stencils for ink and things, but you can change it up.
Yes.
There's no harm in trying these things. Nothing's going to get hurt, or you're not going to, you know, break anything. That stencil will now just go into some hot water and wash quite wonderfully. So let's get our heat gun, get it hot.
Now, this is one of my favourite techniques. When I first saw embossing powder for the first time, I was just absolutely amazed, and it still amazes me each and every time I see it, because, like you say, Toni, it just makes a difference to the creation. It just draws your eye in, doesn't it? which is beautiful. And of course, Tony can't hear me because we've got the gun, well, not the gun, we've got the air gun, which is just drying that embossing powder. But you do need to make sure that it is at a certain heat. So if you do have an air drying tool, like Tony's using at the moment, these are the kind of effects that you can build and create. But don't forget your stencils, your texture paste as well. Will be amazing. You might have some gilding wax that you could just go through as well, which looks lovely. This in the business is known as filling. There you go. And I think we're almost at the end. I think, yes. Perfect.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you very well, Janice, with my heat tool.
That's all right. That's okay. I was just giving a running commentary on what you were doing.
Oh, okay. So basically, look at that. It now looks like I have a foiled paper design. Absolutely wonderful. I can see. I'll just show you on overhead because I think it's a little, look at that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's beautiful.
That is really, really pretty, isn't it? So all you need to do is if you want to do the vintage feel, get you just scissors, the world's biggest scissors here, but just get some scissors and just distress the edges a little bit. So I'm going to leave this just like a nice classic bit of gold, bit of teal in there. And we'll just leave it as it is, and we'll just pop this onto this card blank here. Just use a tape pen for speed. So as soon as you pop it onto a border, it looks instantly different, I always find. I think it looks quite cool. Stick that down, still a bit hot. And then just grab a sentiment from your washi tape or whatever you want from your stash. You could even do a stamp design on here as well. Just going to trim this one down a little bit. And I have instant cards, and the fern one looks equally as beautiful as well. So play around. I've used gold here, but of course you could use white ink, coloured ink, whatever you wanted to. So there we are, one simple card with the papers, the stencil, and a card blank. Oh, that looks absolutely terrific, doesn't it? And how easy is it to put that together, Toni, using this collection, which is wonderful. Would also make a really nice topping to a journal or a book or a box or something like that. Yeah. And you've got the scope of using the papers in such a way. Let me give a reminder, Toni, to everybody, and then we'll come back to you for a demo. So, right, we are having a very busy morning with your one-day special. Launched last night at 6 p.m. You've got one more live hour at 2 p.m. with Toni, and the price is going back up at 3 o'clock. So, if you like this, I think it's a good idea to get it into your basket. But can I suggest something? Because you've got these elements available individually, I don't think you want another stencil or a stamp set. Unless you want to buy one for a friend, you're more than welcome to do so. But I definitely think you're going to be using the papers, especially the vellum. If you want to go for extra papers, card toppers or vellum, or the mounts, then we've got them. So those are your details at the bottom of the screen for the vellum, £6.99. Let me just grab some of that lovely sandy coloured card and just have a look at the vellum. I was calling it ochre this morning, but I was going to get that completely wrong. I'm going to call it a nice mustard coloured cardstock. I want to get one of the green. That's what I want. There you go. Look at that on there. Isn't that beautiful? So you've got that gold coming there, but I think these two colours in particular, these papers are available on the show, aren't they? The cardstock, yes. We're going to see them next. But that works really well, doesn't it? And then you've got that lovely cappuccino colour as well. And that works really, really well with the backdrop of that particular colour. But you might be using these with any colour. But the thing is, grab those vellums whilst we've got them. They are absolutely terrific. They're a beautiful design that you can use for male or female cards, you know, the masculine or feminine style cards. 438 to 863 is your item number, $6.99. But again, you get your 10% off being in the club. That is my top pick for the show. But you can go for any of the items individually. Now, half the stock has gone of your one-day special, half the stock. Let's have a look at the cardstock now, because it's got really beautiful colourway. I like these. And you have got 90 sheets altogether. There's 30 of each colour in there. So you've got your squash, your amber and your blue. What, that is a cerulean? Cerulean. I don't know. It's blue
and you've got the squash, and you've got the amber in there. I'll head back to Toni in a moment. She'll tell me how to pronounce that. £19.97. You get 10% off in the club. They are really nice colours that work really well together, don't they? All three of them. You could just have two together and they look amazing, but I think all three colours work really well. 023583 is your item number. Now, we do have queues on the phones, so do bear with us. The best way to order, though, if you haven't already, is via the website, or if you're on the app, it's really easy to make your purchases as well. Okay, we have got embossing folders. 70% of the stock has already gone. Now, the great thing about this deal, you get these two beautiful embossing folders, and Toni used one of those in her demonstrations, but you also get a third for free as a free gift. And what's really nice about that is that that one has got balloons on it, and let me turn this around for you. You've got your balloons on there, and you've got the love hearts as well. So it's going to be perfect for Valentine's Day, birthdays, or it could be an egg. If you love eggs, I mean, if you turn it the other way, could it be? It could be like little droplets with upside down hearts on, because it doesn't have to be a heart, it could just be a nice shape. So beautiful design. That comes to you free. £17.98. 336508 is your item number. We've got a happy hour deal for you. It's Happy Home. It's a beautiful stamp set for you. And if you want to get hold of that, I do have, here it is, picture of it. I was going to say I do have it at hand, but it was over the other side. There you go. So you've got that lovely house. You've also got Home Sweet Home. You've got hello. You've got Happy Birthday. Hello. 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 You don't have to say it like that. And then you've got the beautiful floral designs on the side. That is a terrific stamp set for £9.99. Terrific stamp set for £9.99. But of course, in the club, you get your discount. So busy morning here at Create and Craft, and we're having a busy show as well. Remember, if you want to ask Toni anything about the collection, or if you want some advice on anything, it is studio@createandcraft.com. We can always get that email sent to Toni, because I'll be able to read it out to her live on screen. Talking of Toni, you're still there, Toni. What are we going to have a look at next?
So I'm going to do the stamp this time and use the mounts, but
Okay.
that lovely cardstock, Janice, is brand new today, and it's coloured core, which is incredible, and it has a linen on one side and it's super smooth on the other. So whatever you run it through your embossing folder, you're going to get options of texture or options of super smooth. That's what I absolutely love about that cardstock.
Toni, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How do you pronounce the blue one? The C-U-R...
Cerulean.
How? I don't know how to
Cerulean.
say... Cerulean. Okay. I didn't know how to pronounce it. I just called it blue, but
Well,
it is...
I say it, Janice, I say it Yorkshire, cerulean, but it probably needs to be a little bit more posher, so cerulean.
That'll do. We're on the same page. That'll do. That'll do. It's blue. But it is absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Over to you, Toni.
Thank you. So I just want to show you a little tip here. So with our stamps, we always have a printed acetate sheet, so you have a visual. And what I like to do with the acetate sheet is play around, so I know what it's going to look like on my design. So never throw these, always save them. You have the QR code, so you would never decant our items from our packaging anyway. But make sure you always keep these sheets, because they're super, super handy. So I'm looking at where I might want to place this bird on this mount here. I might actually turn my mount around and just see what it looks like this way too. So before I go ahead and commit myself to my design, you can play around with that printed acetate sheet, which is always a helping hand to make you make better cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat emboss again.
Okay.
So I'm into my heat embossing in this show, just to show you how incredibly elegant things can look if you swap out just a traditional ink pad for something that's a little bit sparkly, or something that's matte, or something that has a gloss finish. So I'm just going to pop the bird down by here, and I'm just going to do him off to the side, just a little bit. So let's just use a sticky ink pad. So you've seen me use the sticky ink pad through a stencil. So let's do the same concept here, but using a stamp. So sticky ink pad, let's hit that stamp and catch all of that detail. There is a ton of detail in here. I've put 3 layers in here. So there's the script, then there's the blossom, and then there's the lovely tit on top. So blue tit, yellow tit. I think it could be any bird, to be honest. Just sat on there as well. And the theme runs through the paper collection as well, so it all matches wonderfully. So let's just stamp this one down.
I think it's a bullfinch, Toni.
Is it?
I think it is. But it could be any bird.
Okay, so what colour are bullfinch, did you say? Sorry,
bullfinch.
What colour are they?
Well, they can be red on the top, and then they have this lovely, beautiful sort of like rose-coloured belly.
Oh, well, that's just made me very happy because that's very vintage.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to take him out and paint his belly yellow, would he look like a yellow tit?
He would, yeah. Blue tit, yellow tit.
Blue tit, yellow tit, green tit.
Yeah. I don't know whether there is a green tit. There might be.
Well, I'll be the green tit today.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay. We're using it in bird formation. We're not being unkind or rude. Don't worry. You're a bad influence on me, Janice.
It's those donuts that you buy me. You're a bad influence on me. Let it keep going.
Makes us happy.
Exactly.
It's making us smile, so I've done something right.
Yeah.
So let's just grab a bit of scrap paper here, and let's just show you the incredible detail in here. I really did think it was like a blue tit, but...
Well, I think, do you know what, Toni? I think it can be any bird you like. It can.
It could. And I do love birds. I really do. On my design team, Karen on my design team absolutely loves birds as well. So she was like in her element when she saw there was a nice, cute bird on there. So let's just get rid of this here and let's heat set this. Now, you're probably thinking, well, that looks really busy. It's got lost a little bit in the background. But I'm going to sort of like do some 3D embellishments on there because in that painted mount set and in the paper collection, as Janice has quite rightly pointed out, is that you get fussy cut elements. So you can really go to town with your 3D side of things. So let's heat set this one.
And just just whilst you are heat setting that, I'll just show you some of the papers that we've been talking about with the beautiful designs and the elements on here, which are absolutely gorgeous. And even if you get something which is quite busy, you've still got the opportunity to highlight that with something like Toni's doing with the embossing. So you could add some embossing powder. You've got different ways of doing that, not just with a stamp, but you could just highlight some details and put some embossing powder on there to highlight those beautiful designs that are in there. You've also got those toppers as well. So to give you that 3D element, if I just show you that one there, those are the ones that you can cut out and you could perhaps add to your design. For example, that will cut out and that will go on top of that flower, bring it forward with some foam pads. You've got the green designs in there that you could also bring out as well. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about 3D layering. Let's head back to Toni with that embossing.
Thank you, Janice. So here, check this one out. Look at that.
Oh, that is lovely.
I'm thinking like high-end stationery and all sorts of things going through my mind right now. So again, you could vintage the edges if you wanted to. But ahead of time, I have pre-cut the bird away in a black ink just from the detail in the background. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring him back to life. We're going to pop a pad behind here and bring him back to the foreground. Also, in your painted mount collection, which I have here, you do get some elements to fussy cut, which are super easy to fussy cut. Let's just see if I've got any left, because I have been doing a ton of demos. Here we go, look. So here you have flowers, you have the greenery. That's the mount section. But don't forget, in your paper collection as well, there is some frames, there are some words as well, keys, love letter type style designs in there as well. So you can really cut away the lace element if you want to really go to town and get those layers and textures if you really love to build in. Don't forget, in your stash you'll have things like keys and vintage wooden embellishments. If you have Funky Fossils Lux cuts with all of that detailing, those would build in beautifully as well. Super lightweight, so your card's not going to be heavy. So let's just build some of this in together. Now let's add a bit of colour to our bird. Quite simply, let's just use our ink pads. I don't think there's any ink pads left.
I don't know whether there are. Oh, actually, we've got two of the brights. The only reason why I say that is because they've been removed from our counter, which always means they're close to a sellout. So I think we've got two left. of the brights. You've got the 6 large and the 6 mini, so £49.98. There they are for you. Those small ones are brilliant to work with. Also, you've got the large ones as well. So if you do want to get hold of those, I know we've only got a couple left. 747565 is your item number.
So I'm just adding a touch of colour to the bird here. I'm just going teal because, as Janice has highlighted, we can colour them as we please and absolutely make them our own. So I've just added a little bit of blue. He has got a little bit of red to his head there, but I'm going to leave that there. Now, if you add ink pads or watercolour into a project, if you put it on and you think, oh, that's a bit dark, I've ruined it, it always dries back 2 shades lighter. So have the courage to leave that, because I know when it dries back, it'll be at the right shade. So let's just get rid of this here. And let's start to build our card. So piece of white, and then, sorry, our white card blank, then we have our piece of black. And then we'll just pop this onto here. So I'm just creating like a frame around our piece here with that incredible gold embossed bird. It would just look nice, just flat if you want to. So if you are a clean and simple card maker and don't want tons of layers and texture, then you could leave it as is.
That looks nice.
Now, pop that on there like so.
Do you know what would look nice on there as well, Tony?
Okay.
A little bit of lace underneath, in between the black
it's the only thing.
Card and
it's the only thing
top.
I don't own.
Lace?
Janice. Yeah.
Oh.
I know.
It'd be nice.
Need to get some. I need to raid somebody else's stash.
You haven't got a spare garter you could use?
Oh no. So let's pop our bird on. So I've put some pads underneath, just 2 little ones there. And let's just pop our bird in. Now, equally, you could do it like there's 2. So you could have the gold embossed detail in the back and bring his friend, like as if he's sat at the side of him. So I'm going to do that.
That's nice.
So I have 2 birds now. So I have the gold detail on there and then him just sat there. And then we have our wonderful fussy cut elements that I've just randomly cut, and I'm just going to add a touch of glue underneath these, and he's going to be sat in a nest of flowers.
Oh, Tony,
super easy.
When you used to go to the seaside when you were younger, or maybe still now, do you remember those like bird tweeters that they used to sell up and down the beach that had water in, and you used to blow into them, and they'd be like, oh, they'd like twitter away?
Yes, I do.
That's what it just reminded me of.
Yeah, and that's what I love about cards that tell a story, you know, Janice. Like, if you can go back to previous memories, I love anything that tells a story. That's why I love wood grain on my cards. I love textures and layers where they look like the wood's been through the mill, or a piece of stone that's fossil. I just love anything that tells a good story and takes you back to a place where you can remember as a child, or, you know, I just love it.
That looks absolutely amazing. These would also look nice, the stamps, on rice paper.
Oh, yeah. You are on form this morning. I must buy you donuts more often.
Buy me more donuts. I tell you what else would work. Have we got any of the happy hour left? I'm just asking Kat, our producer, because Home Sweet Home would go really, really well with this collection, and that's the happy hour stamps that we've got available for you. It's called Happy Home. Not Home Sweet Home, Happy Home. It's because I'm reading the sentiment that says Home Sweet Home, but I think that would work really well, and because it's a cat P&P, it could be a good idea to pop that into your basket. I'm just holding it up to show everybody, Tony, so they can see that. It's a lovely stamp set and a great price at $9.99 for this hour only.
And that is an A5 stamp set, ladies and gentlemen. It's not A6, it's a grand one, so all 3 of those designs. You're not going to be worried about, you know, filling a card because the stamp is doing it all for you. So there we go. I admire you. We have that gold detail in the back. We have our painted corner with that flower. So you can just see our cute bird in the back, and then we've created a focal with a little bit of a corner cluster with the flowers and the bird on there. So
that
just
is beautiful. That is so nice. It really is. Something for a birthday, maybe for Easter as well. Just absolutely gorgeous. Right, let's give you a reminder of your one-day special exclusive to us here at Create and Craft. Now, you need to check out your basket because it's not yours until you do so. And in order to do that, all you have to do is press the button. Or you can still give us a call on 01733 62000 and place your order that way. With your one-day special, you are getting your card mounts, card toppers, you're getting the beautiful vintage paper and those vellums. Oh my goodness, these are absolutely divine. They really are. And you've got all of these wonderful vintage colours to go with. And you can see there on that one, if I just bring in some cardstock behind, it will really highlight that beautiful gold lettering that's on there. Doesn't that look amazing? You've also got your 2 stencils and you've got your stamp set as well. The stamp set Toni was using with that gorgeous bird on there, and you can colour that bird anything you like, you know, the blues and the reds. You've got the possibility to do that. It just looks perfect. And it goes so well with this collection, doesn't it, with that vintage vibe. 309713 is your item number. You can add any of your extras to your basket. If you want to go for more vellum, more cards, more mounts, it's entirely up to you. But because you can split the cost on Flexi, there is an admin charge on your first Flexi, it gives you a chance to spread the cost. You've also got PayPal and you've got ClearPay to pay for as well. Right, this is your one-day special. Please check out your baskets. But did you know we do so much more here at Create and Craft?
Look out for these fantastic promotions only at Create and Craft. Our one-day special is our special product of the day, which launches every day at 6 p.m. with your last chance to buy from 2 p.m. every day. Our new and exclusive launches Monday to Thursday at 4 p.m, where you'll find products and offers not available anywhere else. Our pick of the week launches every Monday at 9 a.m. Then, taking you into the weekend is our Weekender, which launches every Friday at 4 p.m. But that's not all. There's also our Blockbusters. But you'll need to get in quick, because when they're gone, they're gone. And finally, our monthly mega deal, which lasts all month, or while stocks last. Create and Craft, bringing you deals galore.
I was just looking at some of the samples here that we've got for your one-day special. Isn't this lovely? You know, someone that loves nature. Maybe you're going out walking in the springtime, for example. Imagine that as a backdrop, or that as the front cover of a journal. And inside you could keep all of your pressed flowers that you find, which is really nice. You know, you never know. You might find a four-leaf clover or your daisies, and you can get them and you can flower press them. That would look absolutely beautiful and stunning as the front of a journal cover. That is also beautiful, isn't it? And that's using the papers, it's using the stencil, the little bit of paste on top there. You've got the word friend on there, which you can buy from various other places. You've got the beautiful bird, which is embossed in the middle there. So again, that looks fabulous as well. Now we are approaching 60% of the stock of your one-day special. We started off at 40 at the start of the show. People will continue to buy in between the shows, and then at 2 o'clock will be the final live hour, where the price will be going up at 3 o'clock. So don't miss out on this wonderful collection. Don't miss out if you want to go for any of the extras as well to add to your basket. Or you might just want the vellums. It's entirely up to you. You can go for anything you wish. Let's head back to Toni and let's head back to Wakefield and have a look at another demonstration. What we're going to have a look at now, Toni, towards the end of the show.
So I just want to show you a couple of things where our design team have used different elements. So if you have our infinity shaker windows where they have that edge that disappears like a pool in the water where it's edgeless, this is the infinity shakers. So pop the mounts inside shakers and things like that. So be really creative with them. The quick cards are the mounts in this collection as well. So I'm going to incorporate the paper and the incredible embossing folders. Now we did the magnolia before, so this time we'll do the tulip. And let's do something a little bit different. So I'm going to use it in with the papers. Now I've cut this love away from the paper pad because there's a frame on the other side which you could cut as well and make into a different card. But I'm using this word love here. And I have some teal coloured cardstock here. Now it would look amazing in the blue that is on the set there, but I actually don't have it. What you have is what was mine. And I left it at studio for you. So I'm using the teal, but that blue matches this paper collection as well. So I have this 6x6 embossing folder, and this time I'm going to ink the embossing folder up in white. So I always like to ink up both sides because then I have options should I want to decide if I want to use the front or the back. Because it's a high definition 3D embossing folder, I can choose the front or the back, okay? So I'm inking up the back, and I'm also going to ink up the front. So I'm light pats onto the embossing folder, and we'll just see what it looks like. So get some detail on here. Now you can swipe, you can pat, whatever you want to do, and make sure the ink pad gets into all of that lovely rise and fall on both sides, and then we'll decide from the emboss or the deboss which we like the best. So you can see here I'm swiping top to bottom, and then I'm doing left to right, and that's because the rise and falls at different levels. So if you do random swipes from different ways, you're going to catch those rise and falls, because there's that much detail in these that you need to make sure you give it a good old swipe. So let's just do this. And then I have the teal, and I'm just going to pop this into the embossing folder here, and then we'll pop it down and shut it, and we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to grab my tool here.
Now, with your 3D, with your 3D embossing folders, Toni, can we still do like letterpress techniques and spraying and spritzing with water that's got like glitter in, not glitter, like it's got a bit of sparkling before we put it through the die cutting machine?
Yeah, you can do all of the techniques that you will do with anybody's embossing folders. They work with all of the techniques already. That's why I like to call our embossing folders workhorses, because there's so much you can do, and they're pretty inexpensive. And particularly today, I'm giving you that free embossing folder with our new embossing folders. So let's show you the design here. So when you lift it up with the white on there,
oh my days, that's
you
gorgeous.
get that lovely. That's a card in itself. Don't have to do anything else to that. And you know what? I probably would swipe it again and run it through again to get some more white on there. In fact, we have got time, so I'm going to do that. Let's have a look at the deboss, though.
Oh, nice.
That's equally as beautiful as well. So let's just do the front again. And this is a great thing about embossing folders. You can reposition and run it back through. Nothing's being lost. I'm just going to take my white again, and I'm just going to try and get a bit more white on the back this time. Because it's nice and white in the centre, but I'd like it white on the exterior too. So let's just get a ton of ink on here, best we can. Make sure we swipe all ways. And then we'll reposition. And it's super easy to reposition as well. So I'll just show you that very quickly. So, and you can do this technique with any of our embossing folders, okay? So then all you do is you just grab your embossing folder, grab your design, and then you just place it back in the front, and it sort of slots back in. It's like, it's weird. It's like, I can't explain, but you know when you used to slot your dies back in, it just seems to slot back into place. So then I'm just going to run this one through, just so we can get a bit more white on there.
Toni,
I think it softens it.
Could we do that technique with the vellum as well?
Yep. Yep, yep.
So if anybody wants to add any more of the vellum to their basket, it could be a good idea to do so as we're heading up to the end of the show before you check out your basket, because it is beautiful and it's so cost effective. $6.99 for your vellum. In the club, $6.29. That's 438863 is your item number.
So there we go. We have lovely white on there. It's very frosty in appearance. Now you could add your colourless glitter. Just add a highlight if you wanted to. Now, because the white ink is a pigment ink as well, it's got an oil consistency. If you're thinking, do you know what, I would like a smooth blend on there, if you can see with my finger,
yes,
it's blending.
I like
so
that.
Just blend it out to however you want it to look. If you want it softer, just blend it out with a brush or your finger. Soften those lines if you want to. There are no rules with pigment ink. I would probably say just play around, push that white into all of that detail. And let's just have a look at this one.
I really like
this. I'm really
this.
happy with that one.
Yeah.
These looks like tulips. They're just blowing in from the wind on there. So you could really go to town with that. But here I have some of our new waxes come in very soon. So I'm just going to take the wax now.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to do this.
Mat.
Yes, this is going to look
and
amazing.
And then we'll just highlight. So when you first pop it on, it doesn't look like much. But then when you tilt it and it captures the light, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
So let's just run our finger on this here.
It almost looks like a tile, like it's ceramic, doesn't it, with that white on there?
And it's so raised. And if you do a brown ink pad onto craft coloured card, it looks like burnished. It looks like the detail's been totally burnished into the craft. totally wonderful.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Let's just hold this one up here.
Tulips blowing in the March wind.
So they have like a metallic feel, but then if you just bring in your card, quite simply, you mat and layer this onto your card if you want to. You could budge it over a little bit. And then if you take the love from the collection, just pop it down the side. Let's move this design over there. Probably trim this down a little bit. This needs mat and layering, but you can see how they just work together. So I push that teal right back with the white.
Yes.
And if I wanted to bring a touch of the black in there as well, all you need to do is just grab a black ink pad and swipe. And then that will carry the design through. So you can see I've got that nice black swipe on there, which now coordinates beautifully with the tone of the wood on there as well. So play around with your textures and layers and make your own unique creations, because that's what the kit is going to enable you to do.
Do you know what? That looked absolutely fantastic. Mesmerised by that demonstration. We've got cues on the lines. Toni, we've had an exceptionally busy show. Thank you so much for all of your inspiration demonstrations. Thank you for bringing us this fantastic collection that you will also be bringing back at 2 o'clock today. So we'll see you at 2 with our Adam. So go get yourself a little bit of a rest. And thanks for the donut again, and we'll see you in a few moments' time. Now, 80% of the stock has gone of your one-day special. Oh, of the embossing folders. Right, 80% has gone of the embossing folders, where you get that free embossing folder. So that really is a terrific deal. And if you want to go for that, grab that whilst we've got it, because you've also got your free embossing folder included in that. Now, your one-day special, we've had a very busy show. It's a beautiful collection. 60% of the stock already gone. 309713 is your item number. You've got your beautiful toppers, your vellum, you've got your paper pack, you've also got your stencils and your stamp. If you want any extra individuals, put them into your basket and you'll be able to check out. Sorry, just lost for words there. We'll see you in a few moments' time, but please do check out your baskets to make sure you get this exceptional deal. And I'll go and find my teeth. They're somewhere in a box over there.